I didn't share medical history before being pranked. My girlfriend's family invited me to this huge Easter lunch at her grandmother's house. I'd only been dating Claire for about 3 months, so I was nervous about meeting everyone for the first time. Her family was super tight-knit and traditional, the kind where they make you feel like family immediately, but also judge you for everything. Claire had been telling me about this prank war between her cousins that lasted all year. They'd hide fake spiders in beds, put plastic wrap on toilets, stuff like that. I thought it sounded fun. I mean, I grew up with 2 older brothers who literally duct taped me to a chair once, so I figured I could handle whatever they threw at me. The lunch was going great. Her grandmother kept piling food on my plate, her dad was showing me his vintage baseball card collection, and I was finally starting to relax. That's when her cousin Jake suggested we play this traditional family game they'd been doing for decades. He explained that everyone writes down an embarrassing secret on a slip of paper, then they mix them up and read them out loud while everyone tries to guess who wrote what. Sounded harmless enough. Claire whispered that it was super fun and that they'd done it every holiday since she was little. So I wrote down something mildly embarrassing about how I still sleep with my childhood stuffed animal sometimes. Nothing too crazy. I figured everyone would share similar lighthearted stuff. Then Jake collected all the papers and started reading them. The first few were pretty normal. Someone admitted to having a crush on their teacher in high school. Another person confessed to eating ice cream for breakfast. Everyone was laughing and making good-natured guesses. Then Jake picked up my paper and his expression changed. He looked confused, then concerned. He folded it back up and said maybe we should skip this one. But his mom, Claire's aunt, insisted he read it out loud because that was the rule. Jake cleared his throat and read, "I was born with a rare genetic condition that makes me prone to sudden seizures when I'm stressed or excited." The entire room went silent, like dead silent. Claire's grandmother put her hand over her heart. Her little cousin asked if I was going to die. Even the dog stopped barking. I just stared at the paper in Jake's hand. That wasn't what I wrote, not even close. Turns out Jake had switched my harmless confession with something he'd made up as a prank. He thought it would be hilarious to see everyone's reaction to a fake medical emergency. What he didn't know was that Claire's family had a history of serious medical issues. Her grandfather had died from a seizure disorder just 2 years earlier. The thing is, I actually do have a medical condition. Not seizures, but something I'd never told Claire about because we were still pretty new. I have type 1 diabetes, and I'm really careful about managing it. I always carry glucose tablets in my insulin pen, but I never made a big deal about it. So when everyone started freaking out about my seizure condition, I panicked. Claire's mom was asking if I needed to go to the hospital. Her dad was Googling seizure symptoms on his phone. Her grandmother was literally crying. I tried to explain that it was just a prank, that Jake had switched the papers, but they thought I was just being modest or embarrassed. Claire grabbed my hand and said she wished I'd told her sooner so she could help take care of me. That's when my blood sugar decided to crash. I'd been so nervous about meeting her family that I'd barely eaten lunch, even though her grandmother kept loading my plate. The stress of the prank and everyone staring at me made it worse. I started feeling dizzy and shaky, which, with perfect timing, looked exactly like I was having some kind of medical episode. Claire's mom shouted that I was having a seizure. Her dad called 911. Her little cousin started crying. I tried to reach for my glucose tablets in my pocket, but my hands were shaking too much. Claire was holding me down because she thought I was convulsing. The whole situation was spiraling completely out of control. By the time the paramedics arrived, I'd managed to explain about my diabetes and get some sugar in my system, but the damage was done. Claire's entire family now thought I was this fragile person who needed constant medical attention. They treated me like I was made of glass for the rest of the day. Jake got in massive trouble. His parents made him pay for the ambulance call, which was like $600. Claire's grandmother banned him from family gatherings for the rest of the year.